Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to have you join us for today's session on time management strategies for ADHD. Today, we'll be exploring practical techniques for enhancing your executive functioning skills, particularly in relation to managing time effectively. Before we dive into our topic, let me introduce to you Easy Does It Counseling, the team behind this psychoeducation and skills training series. We're an online counseling service dedicated to providing specialized care for LGBTQIA+ individuals, neurodiverse communities, and those navigating suicidality. Our team of BIPOC therapists bring a wealth of experience and a unique perspective to our work. At Easy Does It Counseling, we understand that managing time can be one of the most challenging aspects of living with ADHD. Our approach is rooted in collaboration and understanding, recognizing that each person's experience with ADHD is unique. We're not here to impose rigid systems, but rather to help you discover and adapt strategies that work for your individual needs and lifestyle. Today, we'll explore various time management strategies specifically designed with ADHD in mind. We'll look at practical tools and techniques that can help you take control of your schedule, reduce stress, and accomplish your goals more effectively. Whether you're struggling with meeting deadlines, feeling overwhelmed by tasks, or simply wanting to improve your organizational skills, this session will provide you with concrete strategies you can start using right away. Now, this session is designed to be interactive, even though it's pre-recorded. I encourage you to pause, rewind, or take breaks as needed. This is your learning experience, and it's important that you engage with the material at a pace that feels right for you. Let's start by looking at what we'll cover in today's session. This overview will give you a roadmap of our discussion and help you understand what to expect. First, we'll explore what we mean by time management and how it relates to executive functioning in ADHD. We'll discuss why many people with ADHD struggle with time management and what it means to manage time effectively. Next, we'll examine why time management is particularly important for individuals with ADHD. We'll look at how effective time management can enhance productivity, reduce stress, improve focus, and increase accountability. Then, we'll dive into specific time management strategies. This will be the heart of our session, where you'll learn practical techniques you can implement in your daily life. We'll cover methods like creating visual schedules, prioritizing tasks, setting time limits, and breaking down larger tasks into manageable steps. After that, we'll discuss practical tips specifically tailored for those with ADHD. These suggestions will help you incorporate these strategies into your routine in a way that works for you. Finally, we'll address potential challenges you might face when implementing these strategies and explore solutions to overcome these obstacles. Throughout this presentation, I encourage you to think about your current relationship with time. What aspects of time management do you find most challenging? What strategies have you tried in the past? What worked and what didn't? Feel free to write down any questions or thoughts that come up. We'll have time for reflection throughout the session. Now remember, the goal of the session is not just to provide information, but to equip you with practical tools that you can use to better manage your time and reduce the stress that often comes with ADHD-related time management challenges. What exactly is time management, and what makes it such a crucial executive functioning skill? Time management is much more than just keeping a schedule or meeting deadlines. It's a fundamental executive functioning skill that impacts nearly every aspect of our daily lives. When we talk about executive functioning, we're referring to the mental processes that help us plan, focus attention, remember instructions, and juggle multiple tasks successfully. Time management is one of these critical skills. Now let's break down each component in our slide. First, time management is an essential executive functioning skill. Think of executive functioning as your brain's command center. Just as an executive makes decisions and coordinates activities in a company, your executive functions help you organize, plan, and execute tasks in your daily life. Time management is key. It's a key part of the system, helping you navigate through your day effectively. Second, it's a system for organizing and planning time. This means creating structure and order in how you use your time. For individuals with ADHD who often struggle with internal time awareness, having an external system can be incredibly helpful. This might involve using calendars, planners, or digital tools to make time more visible and manageable. Third, time management serves as a tool for managing daily tasks. This goes beyond just knowing what you need to do. It's about understanding how long something takes and what order they should be done, and how to fit them into your available time. For those with ADHD who might struggle with task initiation or completion, having a clear system for managing daily tasks can be transformative. Fourth, it's a method for setting priorities. Not all tasks are created equal, and effective time management helps you distinguish between what's urgent, what's important, and what can wait. This is particularly crucial for individuals with ADHD who might find it challenging to prioritize tasks or who might get caught up in less important activities while crucial tasks remain undone. Lastly, time management is a strategy for meeting deadlines. It helps you break down larger projects into manageable steps and allocate appropriate time for each phase. This is especially important for those with ADHD who might struggle with procrastination or have difficulty estimating how long something will take. What makes time management particularly challenging for individuals with ADHD is that ADHD can affect our internal sense of time, known as time blindness. This means that you might underestimate how long something will take, lose track of time while engaged in activities, struggle to plan ahead for future events, have difficulty prioritizing tasks based on time constraints, and feel overwhelmed when trying to organize your schedule. Understanding these challenges is the first step towards developing effective strategies to manage them. Time management isn't about forcing yourself into a rigid schedule or beating yourself up when things don't go as planned. Instead, it's about creating systems and structures that work with your brain, not against it. Now, think about your own experience with time management. How do you currently keep track of your tasks and commitments? What aspects of time management do you find most challenging? Take a moment to reflect on these questions. You might want to write down some notes about your current time management practices and the specific challenges you face. It's important to note that effective time management looks different for everyone. What works for one person might not work for another, and that is perfectly okay. Throughout the session, we'll explore various strategies, and I encourage you to think about how you might adapt them to fit your unique needs and preferences. In our next slide, we'll explore why time management is particularly important for individuals with ADHD and how it can positively impact various aspects of your life. But before we move on, just want to make sure that this explanation of time management makes sense to you. Please pause this video if you need time to reflect or write your thoughts down. Remember, understanding what we're working with is crucial for developing effective strategies to manage it better. Now that we understand what time management is, let's explore why it's particularly important for individuals with ADHD. The benefits of effective time management can be truly life-changing, especially when dealing with ADHD-related challenges. Now let's examine each of these benefits in detail. First, time management enhances productivity. For individuals with ADHD, productivity can be a significant challenge due to difficulties with focus, organization, and task completion. Effective time management helps by creating clear structures for when and how to complete a task, breaking down overwhelming projects into manageable chunks, helping you make the most of your peak energy times, reducing time lost to disorganization or searching for materials, and providing a framework for getting things done efficiently. For example, instead of spending an hour trying to decide what to work on or feeling overwhelmed by a large project, good time management helps you know exactly what needs to be done and when to do it. Second, time management reduces stress. This is particularly crucial for those with ADHD who often experience heightened levels of stress due to last minute rushes to meet deadlines, forgotten appointments or commitments, feeling constantly behind or overwhelmed, and anxiety of not knowing if you'll get everything done. When you have effective time management strategies in place, you can plan ahead for deadlines instead of scrambling at the last minute, feel more confident about your ability to meet commitments, reduce the mental load of trying to remember everything, create buffer time for unexpected challenges, experience a greater sense of control over your schedule. Third, time management improves focus. ADHD often makes it challenging to maintain attention, but good time management can help by creating designated time blocks for specific tasks, minimizing distractions during work periods, helping you recognize and use your productive hours, providing clear start and end times for tasks, and making it easier to return to tasks after interruptions. For instance, when you know you have a specific time block set aside, it can be easier to maintain focus because you have a clear framework for when to work and for how long. Fourth, time management increases accountability. This benefit is particularly important for individuals with ADHD who might struggle with following through on commitments, keeping track of responsibilities, meeting deadlines consistently, and managing multiple obligations. Effective time management helps build accountability by making commitments visible and concrete, creating regular check in points for progress, helping you communicate more effectively about timelines, providing a system for tracking and meeting obligations, building confidence in your ability to follow through. When you have good time management systems in place, you're more likely to meet deadlines consistently, remember and keep appointments, follow through on promises, build trust with others in personal and professional relationships, and feel more confident in taking on new responsibilities. It's important to note that these benefits are interconnected. For example, when you're more productive, you typically experience less stress. When you're less stressed, it's easier to focus. When you can focus better, you're more likely to meet your commitments and feel more accountable. Now, take a moment to reflect on your own experiences. Which of these benefits would make the biggest difference in your life right now? Are these specific areas where you feel the lack of good time management is particularly impacting you? Feel free to pause the video and write down your thoughts. Remember, the goal isn't to become a perfect person at managing time overnight. Instead, we're looking to gradually build skills and systems that will help you navigate your daily life with ADHD. Even small improvements in time management can lead to significant positive changes in your overall well being and functionality. In our next slide, we'll dive into specific strategies for implementing effective time management. Now that we understand why time management is so important, let's dive into some specific strategies that can help you take control of your time. These techniques have been particularly effective for individuals with ADHD, and we'll explore each one in detail. One is create a visual schedule. This is often the foundation of effective time management for individuals with ADHD. Visual schedules are powerful because they make time concrete and visible, provide external structure for your day, help compensate for challenges with time awareness, and create a clear roadmap for what needs to be done. Let's break down how to create an effective visual schedule. One is you can use calendars or planners. Digital calendars can provide automatic reminders and are easily accessible. Physical planners offer a tangible, hands on approach, and you can choose the format that works best for your preferences and lifestyle. Next is color coding. Assign different colors to various types of activities. For example, blue for work tasks, green for personal appointments, yellow for exercise or self-care, and red for important deadlines. This makes your schedule more engaging and easier to process at a glance. Next is daily check-ins. Review your schedule first thing in the morning, check in midday to stay on track, end the day with a review and plan for tomorrow. 2 is prioritize tasks. This is a powerful tool for deciding what needs your attention first. The Eisenhower matrix divides tasks into 4 quadrants. The first one is urgent and important. These are things that need immediate attention. Examples are deadlines tomorrow, or medical emergencies, or critical work issues. Next is important but not urgent. These are tasks that matter but don't require immediate action. Next is urgent but not important. These demand attention but don't contribute to long-term goals. Examples of these are some emails, certain phone calls, and some meetings. Action for this is delegate when possible or minimize time spent. And lastly is not urgent and not important. These are tasks that don't contribute to your goals. Examples include excessive social media and time-wasting activities. The action for this is eliminate these tasks when possible. Third is set specific time limits. This strategy helps prevent tasks from expanding to fill all available time and helps maintain focus. Here's how to implement it. First is to use a timer. Set specific time limits for each task. Use visual timers if they help you stay aware of time passing. Be realistic. Consider your energy levels when scheduling tasks. Account for transition time between activities and build in buffer time for unexpected delays. Next is adjust as necessary. If something takes longer than expected, reevaluate and adjust. Learn from experience to make better time estimates. And lastly, break tasks into smaller steps. This strategy prevents overwhelm and makes large projects more manageable. To do this, you can do things like chunking, which is divide larger tasks into smaller manageable pieces. You can also make checklists, create detailed checklists for each project. And now let's practice applying these strategies. Imagine you have a large project due in 2 weeks. Let's walk through how you might create a visual schedule for the project timeline, prioritize the different components, set time limits for each phase, and break down the project into smaller steps. So imagine you have a presentation project due in 2 weeks. I'll guide you through applying our time management strategies step by step. First, creating a visual schedule. First, let's map out our 2-week timeline. One is mark your final deadline. You can do this by creating color-coded blocks for different activities. Green can be the research phase, blue can be the content creation, and yellow can be design and visuals. Next is prioritizing components using the Eisenhower matrix. You can put urgent and important first, then important but not urgent but not important, and then not urgent or important. Third is setting time limits. For example, for week 1, you can limit the research time to 3 hours, content creation for 4 hours, and supporting materials for 3 hours. For week 2, for example, you can do visual design for 2 hours, review and revision for 2 hours, and practice for 2 hours. Now, take a moment to think about a current project you're working on. How might you apply these steps to your project? Feel free to pause the video and write down some initial ideas. Remember, the structure is flexible. You can adjust it to fit your schedule and working style. The key is to have a clear visual plan, prioritize tasks, set limits, and manageable steps. Now that we've learned about various time management strategies, let's discuss how to implement them effectively, especially considering the unique challenges of ADHD. These practice tips will help you incorporate these strategies into your daily life in a sustainable way. 1. Start with one strategy. This is perhaps the most crucial tip for successfully implementing time management techniques. When we're excited about making changes, it's tempting to try everything at once, but this can lead to overwhelm and burnout, especially with ADHD. Here's how to approach this. Choose your starting point. Select the strategy that feels most manageable and appealing to you. Pick something that addresses your most pressing time management challenge, and consider which strategy might have the biggest immediate impact. Next is master one before adding more. Give yourself time to really learn and implement one strategy. Practice it until it becomes more automatic. Only add new strategies when you feel confident with the current one. And set realistic expectations. Remember that forming new habits takes time. Celebrate small successes along the way, and don't expect perfection from the beginning. Secondly, use reminders. For individuals with ADHD, remembering to use time management strategies can be challenging. Here's how to effectively use reminders. You can use digital reminders, such as setting a phone alarm for important tasks and transitions. You can also use calendar notifications for appointments and deadlines. There are also apps specifically designed for ADHD time management. You can also use visual reminders. Place sticky notes in prominent locations, use visual cues in your environment, and create a reminder dashboard in a visible spot. You can also do strategic placement. Put reminders where you'll see them at the right time. Link reminders to existing habits, and use multiple types of reminders for crucial tasks. Third is be flexible. Rigidity in time management often leads to frustration and abandonment of strategies. Here's how to maintain flexibility. Expect the unexpected. Build buffer time into your schedule. Have backup plans for when things go off track, and don't overpack your schedule. Adapt strategies. Modify techniques to better suit your needs. Be willing to try different approaches and change what isn't working. You can also practice self compassion. Remember that setbacks are normal. Don't give up if one approach doesn't work. View challenges as learning opportunities. And lastly, reflect and adjust. Regular evaluation of your time management strategies is crucial for long term success. You can do this with regular check ins, weekly reviews of what's working and what isn't, monthly assessments of overall progress, and quarterly planning for bigger adjustments. You can also ask key questions. What strategies are helping the most? Where am I struggling still? What patterns do I notice? And what adjustments might help? You can also make data driven decisions by keeping track of successes and challenges, noticing your patterns in your productivity, and use this information to refine your approach. Here's a practical example of how to implement these tips. Let's say you decide to start with creating a visual schedule. Choose one type of visual schedule, digital or physical. Next, set reminders to check your schedule at specific times. Third is be flexible about how you use it. Maybe you prefer weekly over daily planning. And after a week, reflect on what's working and what needs adjustment. Now take a moment to think about how you might apply these practice tips to your own situation. Which strategy would you like to start with? What kind of reminders would work best for you? Where might you need to build in flexibility? And how will you track and evaluate your progress? Now remember, the goal isn't to create a perfect time management system overnight. Instead, we're aiming to gradually build habits and systems that work for you. Every small step forward is progress, and being consistent with small changes often leads to bigger improvements over time. Now let's address some common challenges you might face when implementing time management strategies, along with practical solutions for overcoming them. These challenges are particularly common for individuals with ADHD, but the right approaches, they can be managed effectively. One is procrastination. This is often one of the biggest challenges for individuals with ADHD. Let's break down why it happens and how to address it. First is understanding procrastination. It often stems from feeling overwhelmed. It may be related to perfectionism and could be due to difficulty initiating tasks. It may also be linked to fear of failure or success. The solution for procrastination is use the 5-minute rule. Commit to working on a task for just 5 minutes. Break a task down into smaller, less intimidating steps. Create external accountability, such as a work buddy, coach, or timer. Identify and address the root cause of your procrastination and use rewards for completing these tasks. Next is distractions. Distractions can be particularly challenging for those with ADHD. For environmental distractions, you can create a dedicated workspace, remove or minimize visual clutter, use noise canceling headphones if needed, turn off phone notifications, and use website blockers during work time. There are also internal distractions. Keep a distraction pad to jot down random thoughts, schedule regular breaks to prevent mental wandering, use mindfulness techniques to improve focus, and practice the parking lot method for unrelated ideas. Preventative strategies. Work in shorter, focused bursts, plan tasks according to your attention span, create a pre-work routine to signal focus time, and build in structured breaks. And lastly, overwhelm. Feeling overwhelmed is common when trying to manage time with ADHD. Here's how to handle it. First is recognition. Learn to identify early signs of overwhelm. Notice when you're taking on too much and be aware of your physical and typical triggers. Next is prevention. Practice saying no to non essential commitments. Build in buffer time between tasks, don't overschedule your days, and keep a realistic assessment of your time and energy. And lastly, management strategies. Use the brain dump technique to get everything out of your head. Prioritize things using the Eisenhower matrix we discussed earlier. Focus on one thing at a time, take regular breaks to prevent mental fatigue, and ask for help when needed. When you encounter these challenges, remember to pause and recognize what's happening, identify which challenge you're facing, choose an appropriate strategy to address it, be patient with yourself as you implement solutions, adjust strategies as needed based on what works for you. Now let's practice applying these solutions. Think about a recent time when you faced one of these challenges. What were the circumstances? Which solutions might have helped? How could you implement these solutions next time? Take a moment to reflect on your own common challenges. Which of these challenges do you face most often? What strategies have you tried in the past? Which new solutions would you like to try? How will you prepare for these challenges in advance? Now remember, challenges are a normal part of developing new time management skills. The goal isn't to eliminate all challenges, but to have effective strategies for managing them when they arise. As we near the end of our session, let's take a moment to summarize the key points we've covered today. This recap will reinforce what we've learned and give you a clear picture of how to move forward with implementing these time management strategies. First and foremost, we've learned that time management is an essential skill for individuals with ADHD. It's not just about keeping a schedule, it's about creating structure and predictability in your day, reducing stress and overwhelm, improving productivity and focus, building confidence in your ability to manage responsibilities, and enhancing overall quality of life. We've explored several key strategies, creating visual schedules to make time more concrete and manageable, using the Eisenhower matrix to prioritize tasks effectively, setting specific time limits to maintain focus and momentum, and breaking down larger tasks into manageable steps. We've discussed practical tips for implementation, starting with one strategy at a time, using reminders effectively, being flexible with your approach, and regularly reflecting and adjusting your strategies. We've also addressed common challenges, such as managing procrastination, dealing with distractions, and handling overwhelm. Remember, the journey to better time management is just that, a journey. It's not about achieving perfection, but about making steady progress towards better organization and control of your time. As you leave the session, I encourage you to choose one strategy to focus on first. Set realistic expectations for implementation and be patient with yourself as you learn and adjust. Take a moment now to reflect on what you've learned. What is your biggest takeaway? What strategy do you plan to implement first, and how will you measure your progress? As we conclude our session on time management strategies for ADHD, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the journey we've shared today. Managing time with ADHD can feel like an uphill battle, but you've taken an important step by engaging with these strategies and tools for improvement. If you find yourself wanting more support as you implement these strategies, remember that Easy Does It Counseling is here to help. You can reach us at info@easydoesitcounseling.com if you want to schedule a consultation, learn more about our services, or ask questions about the strategies we've discussed. If you found this session helpful, I encourage you to explore other workshops in our psychoeducation and skills training series. Each session is designed to provide practical, evidence-based strategies for managing various aspects of ADHD and mental health. Remember, managing time with ADHD is a skill that can be developed and improved with practice. Every small step you take towards better time management is progress worth celebrating. You don't have to be perfect, you just need to keep moving forward. Take care and remember that we're here to support you on your journey towards better time management and overall well being.